Councilman Baudier.
Present.
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Hewitt.
Present.
Councilman Landry.
Present.
Councilman Murray.
Here.
Mayor Mosca.
Present.
Police Chief Dickinson.
He's on special assignment training.
He's representing.
Does have a
Yeah,
representative.
he's got a representative. Al Montier.
Assistant Chief.
And Fire Chief St. Cyr. City Attorney Corsell.
Present.
Me. All right. Special presentation.
All right, we have some special presentations this evening. Can we call up the coaches for the JPRD 9 and 10 boys baseball East Bank champs, please?
Mayor, the two coaches are at the bottom. Oh, that's the council.
Yeah, you do.
Good man. All right, the first award we got goes to.
This is the Harahan team, right? Yeah.
Yes, this is the Harahan. This is our Harahan's 9 and 10-year-old boys East Bank championship team. These young men gave us about 3 weeks of their life. We practiced twice a day. They practiced hard, and obviously it showed on the field because we beat every team we played. So I'm going to call each one of them out individually and give them their award from the city. And the first one is Nicholas. Good job, young man.
Young man.
Did your mom and dad? Yeah, his daddy's on the picture.
Not now.
All right, look, Nick, go stand right down there at the end. All right, next we have Joel. Congrats, boy. Turn around. So mom can take a picture.
Move it
Next we have Justin. Good job, young man. He actually has a twin brother, Trevor.
Good job, Trevor.
Good job, young man.
You weigh a little bit more.
All righty, next we have Jaden. Good job, young man. Eli.
Congrats.
Lance is not here. His parents just texted me that he couldn't make it tonight, so he's the next one, but he's not here. Cade. Good job, young man. All right.
He's a down friend.
Oh yeah, he's definitely. Cade, Casey. I'm sorry, not Cade. Good
job.
Good job, young man. Turn around.
He's one of 9-year-olds. He's gonna be back next year. Big boy. Hiding in the corner.
Next, Joshua.
Good job, Josh.
Good job, young man.
We'll turn it down in a minute. It's hot over here.
All right. Ethan.
Good job, Ethan.
Good job, young man. Is that his grandson? Next is Jacob. California. Christian. do it last, bro. Stand right there, brother.
We have two other proclamations. Coach Scott Blanchard, who's given his time, effort, and energy to the city for a number of years. We appreciate that. And of course, we have Coach Mike Barthel.
That's our 9 and 10-year-old undefeated champs. All right, come on, let's go, man. Y'all can get out of here.
Party's over.
5-minute recess. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5.
They said you fell out. Where you fell out?
My house. It's about 3 o'clock. I went to the bathroom.
Were you drunk? Or were you
So I
chasing
was.
the woman?
And my head hit the bed and my nose hit the floor. And my wife started to scream.
Oh my God. Did you get some
I
stitches?
said, no, I said, please don't scream, you're making me nervous.
I was going to ask if you, somebody said that you had hurt your nose. I said, you had fallen. I said,
Oh, the little
okay.
crunch.
So
Well,
he chased
you could
I'm
wear
blessed. It's not broken.
Yeah, because usually he, like at the end, at the end, if he stays, when the mayor asks for reports, he usually asks for the chief first, but it's at
Oh,
the
they
end.
have different
So if you want
clubs.
to do it before, he will gladly. It don't matter. Everybody knows the order. Okay. Well, there you go. Cool.
I just feel like I'm sick.
Who did? Oh, at the playground last night?
I need it. I thought y'all were.
The whole time there was football. She's on the phone.
Boy, is she good looking, huh?
There's.
If I
note.
sit back, I'm going over.
All right.
Make a note. We want you
Make it a
reclining
note.
bedtime. I'm gonna order them. Yeah.
Yeah, she's ripped.
Take it out of cap.
In a little
I
way.
think I pretty
She's
care.
gonna do Pilates or something. I'm just running.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, you cut the weight.
You know?
It's like
I know that.
Olympic, yeah, running. Can't wait to run this shit off.
Okay, we're gonna begin the meeting again. Now we have anyone that wants to address the council. I'm gonna ask Kurt Talbot to come up first, though. And then anyone else that wants to address the council, please come up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, members of the council. I really don't have anything, really to add other than, I know with Hurricane Isaac, had a lot of complaints about Entergy. I'm vice chairman of the Commerce Committee, which deals with Entergy, and we deal with all their issues. And I believe our chairman, Eric Ponte, is going to call maybe a meeting just to kind of discuss some of the things that went wrong, some of the things that went right. Try to listen to everybody's opinion. I will certainly relay the frustrations that were here and some of the things that worked as well. But hopefully we can, help Entergy do better and find out what worked and find out what didn't work and kind of get to the bottom of it. But other than that, I really don't have anything to add unless anyone has a question for me.
I'd like to know the answers to that. There was so many rumors and accusations and
Well, I'll tell you what, if you have any questions you'd like me to ask them, just let me know, and if anybody in the audience has any, they can contact my office at 736-7299, and I will certainly pass those on. But, I lost power too, like everybody else, and didn't get it back till Tuesday or Wednesday, I believe. So we're all kind of all in the same boat, but,
Representative, Harry has often requested that perhaps Energy could have a unit just for Harahan.
Right.
Because they know the location, they know the locale. It's hard for people to come in from Missouri or Texas or
Right.
Florida and locate our streets. And Harahan normally clears the way for these people quick. We try and get our trees out the main thoroughfares, and a lot of the trucks come in as quickly as we can. So we've always tried to see, why can't we have maybe 4 or 5 team get Harahan up and running and then go somewhere else.
Certainly we'll bring that up. That certainly seems to make sense, being that it's, I live in River Ridge, and, we're part of the big Jefferson Parish, but y'all are a small municipality. Y'all can get your streets clean and get everything ready for Entergy to come in, where we kind of have to wait for other things. But that certainly seems like a valid question. I'll certainly bring that up.
One more question.
Sure.
This is something way back we had talked about many times about the flashing lights on Jefferson Highway. Has that ever moved forward on the big S turns here?
As opposed to making them a red light?
We talked about, remember
Right.
the big S turns here, we talked about putting the flashing lights.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There's
so many accidents coming here in
Right.
Whitney's parking lot.
Right. Honestly, I don't know how to answer that, but I'll talk to Tia, my legislative aide, and see. I know she was made aware of it, and I'll have to find out what she ever became of it, what she ever found out about it. But I'll call your office
It's really needed.
and get that.
It really is.
I understand. Drive it every day. Okay. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Okay.
Anyone else wish to address the council? Please step forward.
Glenn Berger on 101 Sedgefield Drive. I shall be brief. I know I speak for a lot of people when I say to our mayor, our council, city employees, maintenance, police, fire department, everybody, y'all did a superb job of getting the effects of the hurricane out of the way and getting Harahan back to normal. Y'all done good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me, my name is Mae Jean Cazenave, 46 Oak Avenue, Harahan, Louisiana.
Speaking to the microphone a little bit more. We can
You want me to tell my name again?
No, we got that for the record.
Oh, okay. I want to talk about curbside recycling. Instead of asking the people whether they wanted curbside, were interested in curbside recycling, y'all just went ahead and voted for it and gave it to you whether you wanted it or not. And I spoke to a few people, and they weren't interested in curbside recycling because they didn't need the extra expenses. And I want to know, can you opt out of the curbside recycling if you're not interested?
Well, I'm sure the council would have to entertain that question and probably discuss it at a meeting. I don't know if we'll do that tonight, but I'd like to put it on the agenda at the next meeting, probably talk about it.
Well, I like that. Because anytime a new charge is made, y'all just add it to the water bill. It's going to be another $4.80 a month whenever you get your water bill.
It's $2.
Well, $2, but it still ends up $4 and something on your water bill. And how long is this contract signed for? Did y'all sign for?
Well, it's an additional one-year contract. Then we'll decide what to do after that.
Can y'all cancel this contract if?
We can cancel it anytime. At any time.
Okay. The next thing I want to speak to you about is the sewerage charge. I read in the paper last week where our water bills will be faced with still another charge, that being $37 a month on your sewage bill again. Anytime there are additional charges, you just add it to the water bill. It appears our water bill is headed for over $100. I'm sure a lot of people spend a lot of money. You have a lot of seniors in the city, too. And it's about the time that the city call a meeting to the people and let the people know what's going on and how things can be worked out. And I noticed in the paper last week that Mr. Chatelain pointed out that the city puts up $190,000 every year being used to subsidize the sewage plant. And because he said that money could be saved and put it towards something else in the city. Well, I mean, if it's already going toward the sewage charge, why you want to make the sewage charge $37 when it could be possibly less than that? And I think y'all should have a meeting with the people and let the people know what's going on and discuss it with the people without y'all just voting for it and say, well, here's the price, pay it or not. That's it.
Thank you.
Can I respond to any of that? Can I respond to some of that? Sure. Ms. Mae Jean, about the sewer charges, we are the cheapest around any area around here. We did look into it quite a bit. And I mean, we say we came up with the money, but it's all of us, I mean, including myself, taxpayers come up with the extra money. The sewer plant is $160,000 or $170,000 under budgeted. It doesn't even pay for itself with the money that's collected from myself and yourself. And we did a research, well, Madam Clerk did, and we're about $4 or $5 a month cheaper than anybody else, and some municipalities are like $12 or $14 more a month than Harahan.
But you still haven't let the people know about it. You just vote on it and you don't tell them.
We haven't voted
Well,
on
we've
it.
talked about it. We haven't even voted on it yet.
We haven't voted.
You know, it's on the paper that we're looking at it,
That's-
and what we've been looking at for 2 years. to be
That's
perfectly
how we
honest
let
with
the
you.
citizens know. It's in the paper. You read the paper. You come here, make your comments.
How many people read the paper? A lot of people might not read it. The print's so small in the
Well,
paper.
Miss
you can't
Majine,
hardly see it.
they can watch it on TV. I mean, we notify them the best we can. It's all advertised. And then because of recycling, I think everybody I spoke to was in favor of that. Especially, you know, people in our generation, in our age, they think it's a good thing. But it is $26 a year. It's not $126 a year. I think saving the planet and saving stuff you don't have to do it, you have to pay, but you don't have to put the recycling out.
Vinny, the last time he was mayor, he added $10 a month on the water bill.
Oh, I don't know about that.
So we've been paying that. Well, hey, you might not.
Well, Ms. Major, you know we have a huge problem all over the country with landfills and garbage, and everybody drinks water bottles, the plastic bottles now. It's a big problem. I mean, I'm for it. I want to recycle. I want to teach my children to recycle.
I'm not really interested in a few people that I spoke to, they weren't interested either.
I mean, I appreciate your opinion. I just want to know that we did speak to many people. I had 3 of my neighbors were paying a separate company to come to the house and pick up their recycles. They were so interested in it.
Where's this money gonna go that you pay?
It's a break-even situation.
The money that you're gonna charge on water bill?
It's a break-even situation. I mean, that's what it costs to get done.
Because then I understood that Vinny had passed through a law that
We don't make a profit on it.
those people to purchase a truck for us to pick up now recycling. Why should we have to pay for them if?
No, we didn't buy
They just need another truck. They didn't buy it for us. We're going to have our own truck for the city of Harahan, but it's their truck. I mean, we didn't buy a truck for them to do Harahan. They needed one truck for Harahan, is the way it went.
Right, but why should we have to pay for it?
Okay, let's get back on track.
Anyway.
For the information of the citizens, on our website, we have a survey going. It's been going on for the last 8 months about recycling. And so a lot of the decisions made by the council were impacted by the fact that a lot of people text us on the internet and were in favor of recycling.
So it's gonna be on a website. I don't have a computer because I don't want one. And I bet you there are a lot of people in Harrington that don't have a computer. It's like the newspaper. They want us to only give us the paper 3 days a week. So they want us to look at it on a computer. Well, we don't want to look at it on a computer. We would like a newspaper every day. Well, this is the same thing. You're trying to force us into something we may not want.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone wish to address the council?
Mr. Mayor, Council, Mr. Corsell, Representative Talbot. My name is Hillary Landry. I am running for judge in Jefferson Parish in the 24th JDC. I'm pursuing the seat of Judge Bob Murphy. He's recently been elected to the Fifth Circuit without opposition. It's Division D. My district includes Harahan and River Ridge all the way to the lakefront and from Power Boulevard to Causeway. So it's an enormous geographical space. I am a former prosecutor at the District Attorney's Office. I ran the Adult Drug Court program for Paul Connick for nearly 5 years. I had the pleasure of seeing many of Mr. Corsell's clients on more than one occasion. And, ran a wonderful program there. Without doubt, some of the most fiscally responsible legislation. Thank you, Representative Talbot, to ever come out of Baton Rouge. It's an alternative sentencing program for nonviolent felony drug offenders. I manage nearly 200 people quarterly on my docket. My docket was in front of 4 or 5 different judges in the 24th JDC. since my participation in the program, we have managed to reduce what's referred to as the recidivism rate. That's the tendency of felons to return to criminal activity, to less than 9%. That is by far above the national average. On average, people who complete time in the Department of Corrections look at a recidivism rate of about 61%. So I'm very proud to say that I participated in a great program, did some excellent work for this parish and this community. Prior to that, I was in private practice. I was a civil lawyer at a firm downtown. I had what was referred to as a blended practice. I did a good bit of everything. I handled family law and adoptions and corporate litigation and transactional work. I am proudly married to Mickey Landry now for nearly 13 years. I am a mother of 3 of the most beautiful children in Jefferson Parish, 2 precious girls and 1 very bad little boy. And I'm raising them here, and I'm raising them in this community because I grew up in your neighborhood. I grew up on Hennessy Court in River Ridge. My mother was a school teacher at Hazel Park. My dad was a resident at Charity Hospital, and would take Jefferson Highway all the way down to work every day. So it's nice to be back in this community. I moved back here for law school and moved back to River Ridge because it was safe, because my parents wouldn't approve of me living in Orleans Parish, and now I've chosen to raise my family here. I'm happy to see your council here tonight. I know that they're doing excellent work for you, and I'm delighted to see so many members of the community out for just a monthly council meeting. This is very impressive. It's no wonder that you all are as successful and as a municipality as you are. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to wait after. I've got some literature in the back. You're welcome to call me or email me. I do use the phone. You don't have to email me or find me on Facebook. You can actually call me, or you can find me on Facebook. Whatever suits your fancy. Thank you for your time, and you all have a nice evening. The election is actually not until April, Mr. Mayor. Qualifying is February. The election is April 6th. Hopefully, I'll be successful in the primary and not have to make it to the runoff. The runoff, if indeed there is one, is May 4th. Any other questions?
Where can one pick up some of your literature?
Ms. Landini, thank you for asking. I'll gladly leave some here or in the office. And again, you have some of my literature. Our information is on the back of it. I'm not far away. We've got a great network of community members and elected officials who are already signed on to support our campaign, or my campaign. You can contact me directly or through one of them if you want to check out what I'm saying here tonight to back up my story. And as I said, I'll happily leave some there in the lobby for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good night.
Mr. Mayor, council members, good evening. I'm Jimmy Dudenhofer, president of the Harahan Athletic Association. I came out tonight to invite everybody and to inform everybody that we're doing our first annual Jambalaya Cook-Off. It's on October 27th. It's from 1 to 6. We put a team in. It's $100 for a 4-man team. It's a competition. See who's got the best jambalaya. There'll be prizes for first and second place, and also a People's Choice. We're also doing a Halloween contest, costume contest for the children. There'll be inflatables for the children, face painting, and we're going to have a DJ. We also have some sponsorship. If anybody would like to sponsor it, they can call me at home. My number is 737-6740, or they can get a hold of Stu or anybody at the playground that can help them out. Thank you.
Put some at City Hall, too?
Sure.
Great. Thank you. Good night.
No, Jim. No, wrestling.
Oh, I'm sorry. Also, tomorrow evening, we're having professional wrestling in the gym. Starts at 7 o'clock. Like to everybody come out, have a good time. He said it's on the agenda. I don't have to.
Oh, it's put a beer permit. Put a beer permit.
We put it on the agenda. Okay, good.
Want to suspend the rules?
Jimmy,
Yes, can you suspend the rules?
when is it again? October?
It's October 27th.
Can I make a
And
motion
if
to
somebody
suspend
wants to sponsor, how soon do you need to get that in?
The deadline's the 20th if you'd like to sponsor. We have
October
different
20th.
packages, different ideas on how to sponsor it.
Okay.
And if you want to form a team, it's a 4-man team, $100. And that also has to be in by the 20th.
Thank you.
We're going to leave some flyers in the foyer, and they'll have some at the gym.
A motion by Bode, second by Shanlin, to suspend the rules to go to the permit for the beer for the wrestling match.
Want to do both of them at the same time, Mayor? The jambalaya too?
Jambalaya and wrestling
jambalaya too.
Do amend that to include the jambalaya cook-off. It's under new business. Number 3
Number 2 and number 3.
2 and 3.
and number 2. Any discussion?
No discussion.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Any
Yay.
opposed? 5 yeas, no nays.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Hello. My name's Josie Bernard. I live at 7100 Monroe Street. And the reason we're here tonight, some of us, my neighbors, is because they're wanting to try to change the properties across the street from me on Jefferson Highway and Gordon into commercial A1 property and also change it into one lot. And they were supposed to read this tonight or something. It was told to us in the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting that they were going to read this tonight. So I'm not really sure if they are or not.
Yeah, I think what they decided, it's going to be first read, it looks like, at the October 18th meeting.
At the October 18th meeting.
First reading tonight and vote.
So then when would it be voted
It's
on?
not on the agenda.
Following, that night as well?
That's Oak Street. That's Oak Street. We don't have it on first reading tonight.
Not a first reading tonight?
No, it's not on the
Basically,
agenda.
what happened is that planning and zoning did not recommend it,
Correct. Right.
and the owner of the property did not submit, as of yet, an ordinance in connection with this. Now, whether he will or not, we don't know, so we'll have to wait till next month.
Right. And what do you mean when you say that? Are you
Might
saying
abandon
that
it.
he's gonna?
He hasn't asked for anything yet at all.
Okay.
He may abandon his request.
Okay.
If it follows now, the first reading would be next month, and then it would be voted on to the following month.
Okay.
For October, then we
Well,
vote to November.
there's a agenda we put out
So what date would
that if you call City Hall, they'll tell you what's on there for the month, or you can look on the website. We wouldn't know until close to the next meeting.
Yeah, they told us to come
And they're all at
tonight,
7:30?
and it'll be voted on October
Are they all at 7:30?
That's incorrect.
The earliest it could be voted on now would be November 15th.
Yes.
Well, normally, that would be correct, except for the person who is the property owner did not present the ordinance. So,
Well, he didn't file the proper paperwork to get it in front of us tonight.
He filed it with the variance board.
So he can wait until, let's say, January, when we're all living our lives, and then all of a sudden, y'all are just gonna hear it and vote on it, we're gonna have to keep watching the website, and he can do this the day before a council meeting.
No.
especially, and then put it on the...
We do not do that.
No, we wouldn't do that.
We don't do that.
Well, sir,
It's still posted, though, isn't it?
publicized. It's publicized 30 days prior.
It is for sale.
It goes to first reading, and then the next month is
It
when
fell
we
down
would
during
vote.
high school. So it's on the ground, or maybe it
It's
got picked
posted
up
on the
and put in
website
I'm
and
not
then on
sure. I
our
hadn't seen
meeting
the
agenda
sign.
that we leave outside in
Since
the waiting area when you walk in.
But both of the properties are for sale.
You know,
right
man,
now.
to be perfect, I've never heard of that
sign.
happening before. I mean, I thought it would just automatically come to first reading here. Cindy, have you ever heard that happen?
No, I have not, unless the person withdrew.
Right.
We've been doing this for a long time, and we were on the zoning board
Right.
for years. I've never known it not to come for first reading at this meeting. following the planning
I
and
heard
zoning.
he got voted down 5-0, 7-0.
It was.
And he withdrew and put the properties up for sale. That's rumor. I mean, I didn't hear that from
Well,
him.
then that's
It's just, I'm assuming.
Planning and zoning is just a recommendation board.
That doesn't mean nothing.
Well, then
Correct.
why was he here tonight?
He was here tonight.
Talking to the inspector and the attorney.
Okay.
Yo, you talking about his lawyer? Is that you talking-
Oh, well, he said he actually at the zoning board. He did say he was the
Ladies,
owner of the
gentlemen,
property.
if y'all have a question, because everybody's talking at one time, if you don't mind, please, if you wouldn't mind, if you let her speak, and if you have a question, get behind her in line, and then we'll be glad to hear, because I would like to hear what you have to say individually. And it's your concern, and we want to hear you individually. Therefore, if y'all don't mind, please let her speak, and then after that, y'all, and please do come up. Let us know what you're thinking. Absolutely. I'm sorry. He gave me Sergeant at Arms, so that's why I did that. So thank you. I'm a stickler for being able to hear one thing at a time. Thank you. I'm sorry.
David, Counselor, how does that work? Why?
Yeah,
I've never seen it happen.
I don't know who the gentleman is, but John Davidson, the attorney, was here. He asked me if it was on the agenda. I looked. I told him no. Jeff Charlet talked to him. I talked with the city clerk. My understanding was going to be placed on the October docket.
He did state in the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting that he was the owner. They did have a young couple that he was discussing it with, because we asked that question specifically. He said that he was the owner of the property.
He bought the property. The rumor has it. I think I was an attorney, but I mean.
I think he emailed us prior to owning the property. But I don't know if he's the owner. He was an attorney.
Okay, well, my phone number is 715. Sorry. What he did state to us that night was that he is the owner of the properties, whether he's a lawyer or it's a business or whatever, you know, and that, but there was also a young couple with him, and I don't know if they had interest in it or whatever, but they didn't speak or anything. But he did tell us.
The earliest you can be on is November 15th. That's the earliest.
That as far as voting.
As far as voting.
As far as voting.
That's the earliest it can be on.
It'd be at first reading.
At first reading.
Right, and that would be, you said, October 18th.
You don't need to come to that. You won't even know. It just.
And all these meetings at 7:30?
Yes.
Okay, so those would be as well. Okay. And I guess that would just actually give us more time, which would actually be better for us, I think.
Make sure we get that sign back up, okay?
Okay, yeah, the sign is down as far as the zoning of the property, and I think it fell during
Can I ask you a
the
quick
storm.
question, please? What is your opposition to it? Just curious.
Well, I have several things. First of all, I live right across the street from that property, and as well, right behind Ice Queens. I already have a commercial property, basically on my property line.
I live next door.
Yes, Davies
Former
next door
neighbor.
to me, yes. And we have a garbage can there already, and what I told the Planning and Zoning Commission was that, in fact, you know, Nucio's, they've been, I can go talk to them. They've been good neighbors.
We're having trouble here in New Jersey.
I'm sorry.
It's very difficult.
I apologize.
We're having trouble.
I'm sorry. I don't know. Well, you. But but you know, the garbage there is not locked. I do have rats on my fence, and you know, luckily I have a. Well, you know that as well.
No doubt.
You know, I was going to throw them in his yard, hoping I get more support. But the garbage is not locked, and although the Nucios, that I don't really have a complaint. They've been decent neighbors. If I have a complaint, I can go talk to them, and they do listen to me. I do have a problem with illegal dumping at night of crawfish shells, shrimp heads. You know, when people have parties, it's not locked, it's not protected. So they come in, and you can hear them because it's after the businesses have closed. No, it's not. It's open. It is open. And so I have that. Look, that's one of my big issues. The other issue is it's not only the property is not only on Jefferson Highway, but he wants to make that lot one whole lot where it's extending back into the neighborhood. Therefore, you know, it's on the side of my house, and possibly, he said, a drive-through would be coming out into Gordon and or Jefferson Highway. They didn't even know how they would do it at that time. We have every single school that your kid could go to in our area's bus stop is there. It's a very busy intersection already. We already have a lot of traffic problems there and accidents there. And it's just really a big concern. And most definitely for me and Miss Pat and Ricky, because we are its direct neighbors. And I don't know these people. I can go talk to the Nucios, but I can't talk to a teenage cashier and ask her to do something for me and to help me and get an immediate response to an immediate problem. I do have a problem with the fact that it will bring my property value down as well. You know, I've lived I moved to Harahan as a child. My parents are still here. I'm married. I went all around. I went to Metairie. I went to the North Shore. I went back to Metairie, and finally I built a house where I wanted to be. And I'm close to my family, and I would really prefer to stay here. I really don't want to move, but I really don't want to have to deal with another commercial property and as well as a parking problem that I already have as well.
That's where our dilemma comes in. I haven't really looked at being a small city, and I was born and raised here too, actually. And we need more money to run the city, and it's always going to be in somebody's backyard. It's always going to be in somebody's backyard.
Right.
I'm not for it against. I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't even looked at the whole situation yet because it's not close enough to us to do it. But we do need revenue, and then when we try to raise the fees on something because we don't have the revenue, then we get hit for that.
Right.
So you put yourself in a position. So we need to,
and I understand that as well, and that's
you're going to be about somebody's house no matter what.
Correct. And I understand that as well. But the other problem is.
What about being good either, man? But I just said I wasn't for or against it. I'm just telling you what the dilemma we have sometimes when we look at these situations.
But if you drop down Jefferson.
I agree with us. I wouldn't want our backyard either, but it's going to be in somebody's backyard sooner or later if anything's going to get to move along and bring revenue. And I know there's open properties in Harahan. I understand that.
Right.
Starbucks is a big company or whatever company.
Chino's.
I mean, that brings a lot of revenue.
Chino's is what he stated. It's a
I understand
your
complaint.
Right, and that is the other issue, is that we do have so many vacant properties already on Jefferson Highway and Hickory. And, I started reading a lot about this when I first got my notice. And, there's a lot of communities that are smaller communities like us that do need the tax revenue. And we as citizens do want that. But in the same sense, they say what you have to do is you have to fill existing commercial properties up before any new commercial properties can be built. Because therefore, then you have an issue where you have all these vacant and empty properties that have the potential to becoming blighted, like we have here in Harahan. We do have some properties, that aren't the nicest looking properties, right in the middle of our town. And it's an unfortunate thing that we can't fill these properties up first. And I do understand that he's a businessman and he's bought the property.
We looked at it very close with Colonial, and I started taking rides and looking. And the vacant buildings, they're older buildings though. They're not very attractive for a new business to come in and really look nice.
Right.
I mean, they really aren't.
Right, but if they're going to invest in it,
they're older strip malls. They don't really have any curb appeal to them at all. Like a pretty new building.
I understand that, but if they want to invest in our city, and make it better or bring something into it that's a good thing, I think that they would be willing to invest in that property as well and make it nice looking and make it appealing and make it something that they could bring in customers that would want to go there. I mean, even like in the S-Curve, the little Chinese restaurant, that's a great little location, I think. They could fix that place up. It would be nice, I think. I don't.
Okay, this is.
Well, I agree. No, I don't wish commercial property on anybody. That's why I'm saying if there's already an existing commercial property.
This is not on our docket tonight.
Right.
We're aware of the fact that planning and zoning did not recommend it.
Correct.
And should it come on the docket, I hate to impose upon you, but if you could call in October to the Harahan, ask for the clerk, and just ask her if it's on the docket.
Okay.
If it comes to the docket, it's only for what we call the first reading, which is going to take about 4 seconds, and that's it. The following month would be the vote of the council.
Okay. All right, we'll do that
but
then.
We appreciate you coming and airing your views, because it's hard for us to know what the neighborhood wants to do if the neighborhood doesn't tell us.
Well, I've been throughout our neighborhood, so, and I plan to keep going. Because I don't think most of the people there want it either. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My name is Mercedes Munster. I live at 244 Garden, and I'm going to speak about the lot too. I'm sorry, I understand what you're saying, but what I don't understand is you say you need revenue, but if you decrease my property value, are you going to decrease my property tax? No, and we both know that.
I don't understand it.
In other words, if you put some commercial next to my house and decrease my property value, you're not going to change my property tax.
If you probably go down because assessments are done every 4 years. Assessments are done every 4 years.
I've been living here 7 years, and they've never gone down for me.
Not either, but that's a good thing. Good thing your property values, like your taxes aren't going down. I mean, your property's not going down, but they're all reassessed.
My other question is, as you mentioned Starbucks, the gentleman at the Planning and Zoning meeting said, and I quote, well, I'm in talks with Pacino's, which serves alcohol, which is right there by a school, and how would, you know, but he doesn't even know what he's going to...
One of the rumors we heard.
But he doesn't even know what he's going to put there, and he's trying to get the zoning changed. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't buy things in a dark room. And that's basically what you're doing. You're buying a pig in a poke.
We're not doing anything. We haven't even looked at it yet.
We'll be back.
Okay.
Same subject. My name's Pat McGehee. I live at 221 Gordon Avenue. My house is going to be at the back of the property. We're going to have a drive-through window at my bedroom window. I don't want that. I took some pictures just as a little reminder to y'all. This is all the commercial properties on Jefferson Highway that are vacant right now. 3 of them are blighted. Y'all want to vote on something, declare war on blighted property, make them tear it down and build something new.
We're working on that.
Okay, well,
We are working on
well,
that.
don't tear down houses before you do that.
We are working on that.
And I understand y'all.
We have not seen anything.
Y'all are not seeing, but we don't need to tear down houses to make a commercial to put in a nice new Pacino's that goes out of business 2 years later, and the building sits empty. Or I don't want to get woken up in the middle of the night. That's my biggest problem. But the speed on Gordon Avenue is outrageous with people driving down it already. We don't need people speeding down Gordon Avenue.
Jake, but the worst thing about that is probably people that live back there.
I mean,
That's the biggest thing.
he lived right there on Monroe Street, or he lives there. I don't know if you still do or not. All right, well, you know how fast people drive down Gordon Avenue.
Yeah, and where I live now, they're doing it on my street there too.
Do it everywhere.
But I pay
because it's probably the neighbors that are doing it.
Yeah, because they get that run and start.
Right. Well, we don't need to add a commercial property for people to be driving to go get their early morning cup of coffee. Okay, because they're running late for work. They have
I'll tell you
to.
the biggest issue, it's all about neighbors. It really is, and we should talk to them. I do it in my neighborhood now. I know it's embarrassing, but I see my neighbors doing it, and I walk out in the street and I say, come on, guys, I don't want any. If I'm guilty of it, tell me too. But it's our neighbors, and that's what stinks a lot of them. I see them. Not everybody. Well, I live there. I saw my neighbors there too.
I mean, you know, I don't have a problem with the shopping center that's already there, but try going there on a Friday.
Oh, I'm well aware of the traffic problem.
Okay.
I haven't seen anything.
You know, I don't appreciate having my driveway blocked. Okay, and having to try to find someone to move a car so I can get out my own driveway. Okay. It wasn't too long back, they had a woman walking out of the restaurant with a friend, and she's picking up her friend from the restaurant, and she comes around and opens the door and just starts throwing her trash out on my front lawn. The amount of trash that I pick up, I mean...
It's been duly noted by the
Duly
assistant
noted.
police chief.
I can tell you, every person that's sitting back here on Gordon Avenue has called the police chief, maybe not right now, when Peter Doyle was...
Peter Dale.
Peter Dale, right. You know...
That's a good combo.
They're right.
That's a real good, I like that.
But when Peter Dale was there, every one of us called, and we asked to have someone come down there and put a radar out there. And not once did we see it. You know, we don't need more commercial. Do something about blighted property first.
Trying to get in there.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the council?
My name is Martha Ann Hatch. I reside at 243 Gordon Avenue, and the traffic going down Gordon They have a stop sign. They roll through it. They don't stop. And I don't think they should be able to turn around because someone's trying to get to the media.
Jefferson, how you mean?
Yeah, and they're making a U-turn. So you sit there for 10 minutes and you can't get out. But with the property, I wouldn't have sold that house to anybody. That was the most disgusting house on Jefferson Highway. It needs to be torn down.
It used to be gorgeous. Well, they really had big boxes. Every day I'd pass that house. It was gorgeous.
Unfortunately, he may have suffered with some disabilities that we don't know about. But he would go to the screen door and pee outside.
He had some problems.
So I'm not, you know, but to add more traffic, Nucio's on Thursday and Friday night, there's no place to park. Did they check with the ADA that they're in compliance with how many handicap parking spots do they have?
Would have got a building permit.
Well, just don't do anything under the counter with Mr. Davidson. It's not right for Harahan, those people that live on Gordon, Monroe, and I stand outside and scream at them, slow down. A child could come out of a home and dart out into the street, and because they're speeding, get killed. That's one of the worst intersections in the city. There's more accidents. If you go look in the police record, you'll find always someone getting in a wreck. And it's just, you know, these people pay good money for their home. And I'm sorry that the Jack who was living there, Davidson said he could live there till he died, which was a nice thing to do. But that anybody that buys that property, that house needs to be torn down. Yeah, because it's the front one, he was paranoid and he would do his business in by the door or...
We know he had some...
Oh, why are you laughing?
I'm with you. I think it's a mess. I'm just wondering, you know, at some point, something's going to go there.
Right, and you're going to tear down all the trees that are on the property, too? Where does it say here? City of Harahan, Tree City, USA.
We haven't seen anything yet. We haven't.
We just haven't seen anything from them guys yet. But I mean, it's up to us at least to look at it, to give him due diligence of looking at what he has to offer.
Yeah, he came.
You know,
the first meeting, he came with nothing.
We've talked to planning and zoning. I've actually talked to the chairman of planning and zoning, and both Eric and I, and said that, you know, they have nothing. They're not recommending anything whatsoever until they come with a plan. And as is, we did the same thing with Colonial. Colonial came here and spoke to us 1,000,000 times. However, we never saw a good, valid plan, so we never had the opportunity to move forward to even help them in any way, shape, or form. But we would never do anything against...
I mean, across the street by Nucio's, they have 2 vacant. Well, somebody got paid off on that one.
You have to remember, I mean, like, looking at some of the blighted properties and stuff, it's always going to be about location. You know,
but just remember to let us know when you're going to do something, and don't do it underhanded, that we can come here and say what we need to say.
That's why this process takes so long.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to address the council? Madam Clerk, the council meeting minutes?
Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on August...
Motion by Murray, second
16th.
by... Bodier. To dispense with the reading. All those in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Motion by Murray, second by Hewitt. To approve those minutes, all in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Madam Clerk, resolutions.
Communications. Communications.
I'm sorry, communications, right.
The appeals board did not meet in August, and Reading of the minutes of the Planning and Zoning Board on September 5th.
A motion by Landry, second by Chatelain to dispense with the reading of the minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. A motion by Chatelain, second by Landry to approve those minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Madam Clerk, resolutions. Anyone that wants to read the minutes of any of the boards can get a copy at City Hall.
All right.
Madam Clerk.
First resolution, on a unanimous motion of the Council of the City of Harahan, the following resolution was adopted. Whereas any rural community within the state of Louisiana may apply individually for the local government assistance program, and whereas cooperation is required between all government offices, namely mayor, city council, state representative, and state senator. And whereas based on the Louisiana legislative appropriations, the City of Harahan can apply for a funding grant from the State of Louisiana Local Government Assistance Program Office. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Harahan, with the approval and consent of the mayor as a governing body for the City of Harahan, that a local government assistance program packet is submitted to the State of Louisiana to fund additional hardware, software, and implementation of the software for the City of Harahan. That be it further resolved that the City of Harahan requests State Representative Kirk Talbot and State Senator Daniel Martini support this grant request on behalf of the City of Harahan in the form of a letter to the Local Government Assistance Office indicating their support. The mayor and the city council for the City of Harahan specifically lobby Representative Kirk Talbot and Senator Daniel Martini for their support in this grant application. Wherefore, the City Council of the City of Harahan votes to approve the application of the City of Harahan for a local government assistance program grant as filed by the mayor of the City of Harahan to the State of Louisiana for a grant to purchase additional hardware, software, training, and implementation of this software for the City of Harahan Administrative Office. And wherefore, the Council of the City of Harahan specifically requests the mayor of the City of Harahan to apply for the Local Government Assistance Program grant for the Administration Office of the City of Harahan in the amount of $30,000 from the Local Government Assistance Program. And wherefore the Council of the City of Harahan requests that the mayor of the City of Harahan apply for this local government assistance to improve the administrative office in the following areas: hardware, software, training, and implementation of the software. The foregoing resolution was read in full. The roll was called on the adoption thereof and resulted as follows.
Is that unanimous?
Yes.
All right. Madam Clerk, next. All in favor of that motion, resolution?
Yay.
5 yeas, unanimous.
All right, second resolution. On a unanimous motion of the Council of the City of Harahan, the following resolution was adopted. Whereas any rural community within the state of Louisiana may apply individually for the local government assistance program, and whereas the cooperation is required between all government offices, namely mayor, city council, state representative, and state senator, and whereas based on the Louisiana legislative appropriations, the City of Harahan can apply for a funding grant from the State of Louisiana Local Government Assistance Program Office. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Harahan, with the approval and consent of the mayor as the governing body for the City of Harahan, that a local government assistance program packet is submitted to the State of Louisiana to purchase discharge pipes for lift station number 5. Be it further resolved that the City of Harahan requests State Representative Kirk Talbot and State Senator Danny Martini support this grant request on behalf of the City of Harahan in the form of a letter to the Local Government Assistance Office indicating their support. The mayor and the City Council for the City of Harahan specifically lobby Representative Kirk Talbot, I think I read that, but and Senator Danny Martini for their support in this grant application. Wherefore, the Council of the City of Harahan votes to approve the application of the City of Harahan for a local government assistance program grant as filed by the mayor of the City of Harahan to the State of Louisiana for a grant to purchase discharge pipes for lift station number 5. And wherefore, the Council of the City of Harahan specifically requests the Mayor of the City of Harahan to apply for the Local Government Assistance Program grant for the Administration Office of the City of Harahan in the amount of $20,000 from the Local Government Assistance Program. Let's see. The foregoing resolution was read in full. The roll was called on the adoption thereof and resulted as follows.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Yay.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays.
Alrighty.
Yeah, the grant with the $50,000, is that moving along?
Yeah.
I think, Councilman, you had the best idea on I'll start with her on that. The covers over the playground.
Oh, did you go up? Did you go down to go see the one at Little Farms?
Hey, beautiful.
It's amazing.
A Little Farms bottom?
Well,
The big one's probably about 20,000. I have some quotes.
it's a good idea.
Madam Clerk?
All right, third resolution. The following resolution was offered unanimously by the Council of the City of Harahan. A resolution informing Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality of the actions taken by the Council of the City of Harahan. Whereas the Council of the City of Harahan hereby informs Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality that the following actions were taken. 1. Reviewed the Municipal Water Pollution Prevention Environmental Audit Report, which is attached to this resolution. 2. To set forth the following actions necessary to maintain permit requirements contained in the Louisiana Water Discharge Permit System, permit number LA 0043940. Let's see. A. Pipe replacement, point repairs, and pipe lining. B. Major lift station upgrades and enlargements to greatly reduce the possibility of overflows during heavy rain events. And C. Addition of a small belt press to adequately remove solids at the proper wasting rate and try to dry the solids material to a percent dryness capable of passing the paint filter test, making it suitable for landfill disposal without the solidification expense. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Harahan, acting as the governing authority of said city, that they have taken appropriate action as required in the Municipal Water Pollution Prevention Environmental Audit Report. The foregoing resolution was read in full. The roll was called on the adoption thereof and resulted as follows.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? 5 yeas, no nays. Give that to Madam Clerk. I don't know if that's the original or not.
Thanks.
Okay?
Yeah, just a quickie on this. We had to do this because
Requirement.
it's required by
Of,
the
EPA.
EPA.
Right.
And we need all the requirements right now, as I kind of read. It looks like there's
Right.
a lot of technical jargon, but
Right.
our plan is meeting it at the moment.
Correct.
We're meeting it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, we have no ordinances for public hearing.
No ordinances for approval.
All right, first reading.
Ordinance for introduction. Let's see, number 1. An ordinance approving the re-subdivision of 396 and 398 Oak Avenue, Lot 41, Square N1, Harahan City Subdivision, City of Harahan, Parish of Jefferson, State of Louisiana, according to the survey made by Everett V. Treagle, professional land surveyor, dated July 6, 2012.
All right, old business. Madam Clerk, you supplied some information to the council members, I think,
Yes,
in
sir.
connection with sewer user charges. One of which I think was a document indicating that Harahan charges $1.20 per 1,000 gallons of use bi-weekly. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Is that bi-monthly or bi-weekly?
Bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
Yeah, bi-monthly.
Right. And Kenner charges $3.09. Westwego charges $3.54. Jefferson Parish charges $2.94.
And 265.
Yeah,
It's
residential.
two different parts.
For residential, right? We have an ordinance for Westwego, which sets forth how they determine the sewer user fees shall be computed. We got one from Kenner also. Right. We have one from,
Yeah, it's just two from West Wego. That's the only ones that...
we have the old Harahan sewer ordinance. And we have the new Kenner ordinance.
He's got the new Kenner ordinance.
So, the, I think at the next meeting we ought to decide
I gotta get the Kenner
what
ordinance.
amount we need to set to allow the sewer plant to run without encumbering money from other departments to run it successfully. Anybody have any comments? Councilman Hewitt?
She's not here right now. She excused herself.
Councilman Landry?
I'd like more time to study this. Obviously, we're going to maybe do it next month, but I'd like to figure out, and Canada does it a little bit, and kind of take politics out of the fees,
right,
and set up an ordinance where, as inflation gets higher, the price on it goes up a little bit to keep pace with the economy. Or what I can't think of the word I'm thinking of, but I think you understand. But what happens is nobody wants to vote for a sewer increase or a fee increase because of politics, and it just got to be. They haven't been raised since '03, and sometimes fees have to be raised, especially when you're so lopsided as we are. We're not even close to anybody else. $1.20, and Ken is $3.09. So anyway, I think that's the way it ought to be set up, where it just automatically increases.
Councilor Shanley?
I'm going to apologize if it looks like I'm just adding new fees, because I think money should be spent other places. But we have a lot of money coming out of general funds that could be going to streets and stuff. I mean, we're getting a lot of complaints on this. And I just felt last council meeting, I said, we're taking money from other places to subsidize the sewer treatment plant. I think the sewer treatment plant should support itself, and we should pay adequate sewer fees to support the sewer treatment plant. I'm not saying we should take the money and waste it somewhere else. I just know we have a lot of other things that need to be addressed, streets, maintenance throughout the whole city. And if we're taking that money from general maintenance, we can't maintain the rest of the city. That's the only reason I would be in favor, and we need to look at it and adjust it adequately. And I mean, I'm sorry if it comes off to where it looks like I'm just adding fees to the water bill. It might look that way, but I'm just trying to adjust it to where the sewer charges pay for the sewer plant.
Just break even.
Councilman Moody?
No discussion.
I will say that the last time that the city raised its sewer fees was over 9 years ago. It's hard with the cost of living increasing, the cost of equipment rising, the cost of supplies rising every year. We chose to maintain the same rate for the last 9 years. So I'm of the opinion that we need to come up with some sort of ordinance that will provide for an increase, and then depending on the cost of living as time goes on, to allow an adjustment for that. Councilman Murray?
I thank Mayor and Madam Clerk for getting that information. On seeing what everybody else has done, we have always been working with the fact that we realize that we have to subsidize both the garbage and the sewer department. The sewer department has been a thorn in our side for many years, and I still want to look at where we are, where we're spending the money, and what's going on. I too hate to do fees. I have to pay them like everybody else does, and it's just not something that I care to have to increase anybody, and I do think that there should be some sort of mechanism in there that if people are seniors or others that are on fixed income should be able to come and show that they have a situation that they cannot pay additional fees. There should be some kind of mechanism built in to allow for those people to come plead their case and hopefully be able to have some relief. And there are, let's face it, this city is a more elderly-based community. We have a bigger percentage of people over 55 and over 60 than we have almost every place else. They've done that in the past. I know it's difficult for those. We all have grandparents. Most of us have parents that are of that age. Heck, I'm close there. And no comment from Peanut.
I never said a word. I was just thinking.
All right. I'm one of the oldest.
Married 35 years, grandkids.
So anyway, I understand that. Needless to say, I think we need to look at those kind of mechanisms very hard before we can pronounce this onto our seniors. And let's face it, that is the majority of our residential here. So I still want to look at it. I want to see what other people do, see where, how much it is affecting us. We know that we're spending approximately $190,000 out of our own regular budget, so I can't go fix a street or I can't do other things that need to be done. Our entire budget is $5.5 million. And heck, they spend more than that in 30 minutes over Jefferson Parish. I mean, let's face it. We're a community of 96+% residential, and we don't have that much commercial here that gives us taxes, sales taxes. And so we depend upon the taxes of the property taxes to do that, and it's a strain on a lot of us. It's very, very difficult. I, who am getting up in age, I'm going to be back out there with y'all pretty soon, hollering, "Don't raise my stuff." So I do feel like that. I think we need to just look at it very hard. We may have to bite the bullet and do something, but we're going to do our best to make sure it gets done. And while I'm on that, just real quick, to you, ma'am. Something was said about a special meeting, and I know I'm off this particular thing. I just want to let you know in case you do leave. We don't do special meetings for something like that. I see that there's a special meeting on the agenda tonight. I don't know what that's going to be for that they're looking to do, but in our case where we have the regular meeting, we always have it in paper. We have it on internet. We also have the meetings on, I think, Mondays, and is it Sunday it's coming on too right now? I'm not sure what talks
Friday
to
afternoons too.
So anyway, you'll know what's going on for anybody who wants to know, and you can always call City Hall. Madam Clerk will be glad to tell you when the meetings are, what's on the agenda, so forth. So nobody gets kickbacks up here. We don't have the money to spend to get kickbacks. I need to let you know that. All of us are up here pretty much. We're out of here for the goodness of our hearts because we like doing what we do, and I have to address that because there's no money for anybody to get anything. You know, we are skin and bones here, and we do the best we can. And like I said, we are 96+% residential. It comes from our own people, so we do our best to make sure that we spend as much money as we can. As wise, the money that we have as wisely as we can. And, it comes out of our pockets just like it comes out of the next person's pocket. And we want to make sure that we're doing it as wisely as possible. We also have an administration that watches the money very closely, too. He watches our money better than he watches his own money, and we have to. We are government. We are required by law to do an audit every year, which we came up with very, very good numbers and so forth, so we're happy about that. So thank you so much. I just want to, just let you know that. And I still have to look more about it. I want to know more about the sewer costs, what it's going to be on a person, and where it's going to go. So thank you.
Councilman Hewitt?
No discussion.
All right. Also under old business, recycling will start October the 1st of 2012. They will deliver bins on on Thursday, September 27th, or Friday, September 28th. Attached to the bin will be some information about what can be recycled and what materials would not be acceptable. Also, the collection day will be weekly, and it either will be on a Monday or a Tuesday to match your first garbage collection. So if your first garbage collection is Monday, recycling will be Monday. If your first garbage collection is Tuesday, recycling will be Tuesday. I'm sure the council will discuss at the next meeting where we are with this in terms of those people who don't want recycling. But at this point in time, it's going to start October the 1st, and the bins will be delivered Thursday the 27th of September and Friday the 28th of September. Madam Clerk, new business?
Mayor, can I say something about
Yeah,
recycling
sure.
real quick? On that recycling, if they refuse a bin or don't want to recycle, then they ask for it to be picked up.
Sure.
Okay, call City Hall if they refuse it. And those people that do refuse it, hopefully in the next month or so, we'll do something to try to do something, see what we can do to get it reversed on that person's bill or what. I don't know that we can, but we are going to see. We will talk with the mayor and we'll talk with other officials and see if there's something we can do. If you refuse, you know, that.
Madam Clerk, new business, we have a special meeting that was put on the agenda because the tax rolls that come from Baton Rouge and the assessor's office have not been completed yet. We need to have the tax rolls voted on by this council and sent to Baton Rouge in order to get the tax bills out for the proper time. Right now, they're requesting that October 16th, we have our business done so it can be turned over to the assessor's office. As of today, we have not received the paperwork necessary to complete that deadline. We're going to have to call a special meeting to accommodate that.
October,
millage.
For October 16th?
November.
Before October 15th.
We got to have a meeting before October 15th.
It's 15th. 15th.
Can we do, if we do that, can we do the first readings here now?
No,
Well, first readings are only a title.
I know, and I asked the legislative ought to do that today, and we can't, because we got to put in the first reading what the millage is. So how about, what about,
First and get it over with. How about October 1st and get it over with?
we need documents.
When are we expecting?
We don't
gotta
get
get the
expecting
number.
accurate figures.
Which I knew.
They said any day now. They said they said probably not by tonight.
Well, the
but,
following month is the 8th, man.
How about we do it on the 8th? Is that all right?
I'm hoping.
We can do it at 5 o'clock or 5:30.
Yeah, 5:30 to
The
6.
8th is Columbus Day.
Columbus Day?
I just throwing that out.
8th's not the best day for
How about the
8th
9th?
is not the best day?
the what?
The 9th or the 10th?
I'm free the 9th, I'm free the 10th.
How about the 9th?
That's good. 11th is not good
And
for
what
me.
about
It's
court?
Tuesday night.
What's on the 9th?
Well,
How
let's
about
do
the
the
10th?
10th Wednesday.
10th is a Wednesday.
Then they have a meeting, or we could meet in my office.
Before court. You do it before court.
No, court's at like 5:30.
Yeah,
5
court's
o'clock. All right, how about the 10th? We'll do it at 5:30 on the 10th?
I'm good on the 10th.
All right.
I'm easy.
Motion by Shadline, second by Bodie. Hold a special meeting at 5:30 on October the 10th at City Hall. Waive notice.
Yes.
And all in favor?
Okay.
Any opposed? 5 nays, no nays.
And this is because we don't have the right figures from the assessor's office?
Correct.
Yeah, no.
And we won't be getting those until, we don't know.
I'm hoping we get them next week. but-
Hopefully we get them before the 10th.
Yeah.
We don't have to Meeting C closed.
Mayor, should we do an extra meeting just in case?
Really?
If we don't get them, do we think we're gonna need it? I mean,
Well,
a
on the
second
10th, we'll
possible
call
date.
one of the.
Okay,
yeah.
we call one on the 10th if we don't have it, okay. I'm worried about not getting it here.
Right. Any other new business? Anyone wish to address the council? You're welcome to do so again.
Yes, I'm one of the neighbors who has the, but that's not where I'm going. My point is this. Years ago, in 1965, when Betsy passed, my name is Woody Fogg. I live at 243 Garden Avenue. We used to live in Metairie, and when Betsy passed, the next 2 days later, we had power restored because there was a lady next door in an iron lung, and we had to take the batteries out of our automobiles to keep her iron lung running, to keep her alive, okay? And so where I'm going with this, I have a handicapped wife, and she needs to be kept cool. Otherwise, she has real severe problems. And the reason I'm bringing it up is I don't know if there is a group of folks that perhaps in the city of Harahan that would take into account the restoring the power to people on a need basis, as opposed to, you know, which one has the most damage. Let's do the one that has the least first and come back later. Because Katrina, I was 7 weeks on 2 generators. This time it was only 5 days on 2 generators. So that's a point that I'd like to make to you, because there are a lot of senior citizens in the city, and I'm sure there are a lot of them that have special needs, and I don't know who would undertake that, but it may be something that the senior center, somebody might pick the ball up and figure out how to handle that. Because
the fire department tries their best to try to do that when they come across it. We stop when they're knocking doors, or they try to get it as quickly as they can. They try, but you're right. That would be something to really work on.
And you know, because the lady across the street, her mother's like 94 years old, and the other lady next door is 84 years old, and I helped them set up a generator and an air conditioner to keep the ladies, and all of a sudden she was back in business and she was smiling again. Okay, so it was these types of emergencies. You know, there's no way to plan for them, but we try our best at where I live to take care of every little situation. And getting back to the parking situation, and as you know, I live on Garden. I live 5 houses from the corner, and the gentleman that built the little strip mall at the corner, from what I understand, he has inadequate parking, and it's a good thing only 2 of his businesses are rented, because he has totally inadequate parking with just 2 businesses, the restaurant and ice creams. The other 2 places are empty. And when we had the other place there, people were parking all up and down the street on your grass, and the grass belongs to the city. I understand we maintain that little strip for you guys, for the city. It belongs to the city. It's not our property, but it just, you know, we know the fairs are coming at St. Rita's, and that's okay. You know, they're making money. That's fine. But these folks, you know, I know we need taxes, but if you allow another business to open on that corner, that corner is very dangerous. I don't even go to that corner anymore. I go to Tasty Donuts. It's a lot easier to get across the highway. You got 2 U-turns and somebody coming across from the school, and people going down our street. So you don't know which way, who's going to go which way. We tried to get a street light there years ago, and the gentleman over there had the council have the Department of Transportation put these little rollover strips out on the street, and unfortunately we didn't have enough rollovers to warrant the traffic signal. Perhaps we could do that again one day.
Gentleman was here earlier.
Okay. So just so you know, when during a storm or whenever we go into any kind of emergency type of situation, always one of us is here. We're always rolling around, always. So, you know, we had a bunch of citizens come in, and believe me, every person that had something like what you're saying, we were Johnny on the spot. I mean, we were I can't even tell you how many times I called the electric company. I mean, I was burning my phone up. I had to have phone chargers with me because we were on the phone company with them so much. And because this is an older community, it was always, that's what we were hunting for. Shoot, Councilman Chatelain and Councilman Landry, in the middle of the night, we all had to go set up some ladies' power out by Colonial Club Golf Course. So, I mean, we are hustling, but people like yourself, thank you so much for getting out there and helping us.
It's just, everybody, gets in a situation at some time in their life where they need somebody to help them.
Right.
So, and I'm glad to. I'm very happy to. But, I just thought I'd mention that because we are made up of a lot of seniors in this area, and
we were hustling, just so you know. We were out hustling.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
The energy wasn't here. You didn't have energy to respond. They weren't here to help you. We're a little city, but nobody seemed to pay any attention to it.
The mayor made a comment earlier that we're actually talking energy right now because, believe it or not, we have a lot of residents here that live in our city that work for energy. Right. And when it came, they took them and moved them into Kenner and all of that deal. And so what we're trying to fuss about right now is keeping our people here. Let our people fix our streets and then get them out of here.
Right. Allocate some people to this,
to
this little city.
We are really pushing hard for this right now. And Councilman Chatelain and myself and Councilman Landry and all the councilmen, Murray and Hewitt as well, we're all really pushing for this because let me tell you something. I know it was weird, but when power started coming back on, it was our people putting it on. It was Harahan people putting it on, and I was there. And it's because they knew. I mean, they come right down. When I got power Saturday night, and they come on, and what we did really cool was we actually got the neighbors out, and not to go dig into power lines, but walk your neighbors up and down your street and find out what's wrong. And we had a piece broke off the top of one pole, a tree was pulling it up down to the other pole, and you couldn't see it because it was all tied up in the trees, and one of the neighbors saw it. And then I burned up Energy's telephone like 1,000,000 times and finally got one of our guys to come out there at 8:30 on a Saturday night and pull this wire out this tree, and our power came on like that.
It's amazing.
I think you'll see a lot of changes because they had a lot of people there. The organization was horrible, but I think they're going to have a lot of changes.
You're going to see changes.
I think some heads are going to roll because you can see
fell
them
in
just
Baton
pop
Rouge,
out
it's
there.
over our area, right?
I spoke to a lot of energy reps, and one of the main reasons the energy guys were not in that area, they had a lot of primary lines down. And their priorities are to get the hospitals up first.
Absolutely.
They had major lines down in Kenner that fed Kenner Regional Hospital, and that's where just about every energy employee was. Everyone I know was working that main power line to get them hospitals up first. And then when the secondary people come in, they need to come in, rest before they can go to work. And the problem is they were getting harassed. And
they were arrested well. I've seen the parking lot full of them.
I understand. But, I mean, that was out of our control.
People were hollering about no electricity. These guys are sleeping in the parking lot and having a party in the barbecue.
They didn't have any organization.
That's really nice.
Nobody delegated to tell them what to do. That was the movie part.
Understand
I think there'll be a lot of changes.
what happens with what happens, and I have had extensive talks with Entergy people, and most of all of us left Katrina. We didn't come back for 3 or 4 days, some 5 or 6. This hurricane, 90% of us didn't leave.
Right.
We were here. When you finally got back into the city from Katrina, you knew that there was going to be a big mess. You knew that that was going to go on. This was a smaller hurricane. Unfortunately, that little sucker stayed out there and decided to wreak havoc with us. That was the biggest problem that we had. None of us had any idea that that little sucker was going to go bouncing and stay where it wanted to stay and just wreak havoc with us.
Grounded.
Most of us did not stay. The number one thing we should always keep in mind that when we have a hurricane, we're going to be out of electricity from 3 to 5 days automatically. That's a given, and it should be, because they have to, and I'm just going to let you understand a couple of things. You're going to be out, number one, because you're a resident. You're not a first priority.
Right.
You're not a hospital. We always tell our people, especially those in Harahan, that are older folks that need special needs. They, number one, need to call us, let us put them on the list, okay?
Oh, there is
so
a
that
list.
we know. There is a list.
There's a
yes,
list.
and there's been a list for years. There is a list. The next thing is, that's only if you can't leave. Get out of the city. You're gonna be inconvenienced for 3 to 5 days, a minimum, with no electricity. So leave if you can. If you can't, call the city, let us know. I'm 90 years old, I cannot leave, I'm bedridden. We found out that there were a couple of people here that didn't call and let us know. And there were several people that were going out checking on them, whether it was there. And we found this out because the person came here. They didn't know that we had ice and water and rations that people could get. But that's the first thing, is that hurricanes, you're gonna lose power. Just, if you don't, consider yourself lucky. I don't think anybody in Harahan did not lose power for whatever length of time. So the first thing that they do is they take care of hospitals, nursing homes, and so forth. Then I believe the next thing that they do is make sure of government offices. Most of our government offices since Katrina now have power generators. I understand that there's a law that they're trying to place, I think in New Orleans right now, that says anybody who has nursing homes and so forth must have a generator. And I think once they pass that, we may take a look at it to see if that will happen just for our city, because we do have a couple of nursing homes.
That one has a generator, I believe.
And it does have a generator. It has problems every now and then. But the next thing is they go down and they try to get some commerce back in effect. After they do the government places and so forth, starting to get the main feeder lines. And when you have a main line down, it feeds big areas, large blocks of area. And then the next thing is, after that, then they start going down the highways. And then if you're on that first section of the highway, you might get lucky and have electricity. If you have nothing else that's down, that there's not a tree hanging down or so forth, know that it is very difficult once they start putting power on to the residentials, down the side streets and so forth, into the residential areas. If there is a tree hanging someplace, you can have a fire problem. We had lots of calls like that. The fire department was probably the busiest it's been since Katrina, okay, barring that horrible fiasco, Katrina. About as soon as they start popping on power, we start having fires because there are lots of problems. And the fire chief is not here, but he can definitely tell you that's what we had. We had a lot of people with that on. So anybody, if you're on the feeder band going down your street and there is a problem, whether it's a pole that snapped, wires down, tree on the lines, whatever, it's tripped your I forget what they call that.
Breaker on the breaker, on the highway,
basically
right?
A breaker, for instance, it gets tripped. You don't get it on. You may be fine 3 blocks down the road, but feeding to you is not fine. Or beyond you, that's 6 blocks down the road, is not fine. So you don't get it until all of that is straightened out, because it puts you in jeopardy and others in jeopardy for the possibility of fire. Right. And we had lots of that. Lots. So if you ever want to know, and you can always call your representatives, you can call Entergy to ask them to do it. Entergy might want to take a look at the fact that maybe they need to explain that more to the residents. I think that would probably be a good, helpful thing for them, is to have a little bit of education about what goes on first and how it goes. The other thing I want to tell you too, people probably don't realize that all these people that were sitting, these people that had been staged, that came in to sit, they all had to be checked in. Their piece of equipment had to be checked in, the person had to be checked in, because guess who winds up paying for all that? We do. We wind up paying for it. I don't want to pay for 50 pieces of equipment when they only sent 20. You know, Joe Blow up in Arkansas sent down only 20 people that called for 50, and you and I are paying, you know, X hundred of dollars per hour to have that person there. We don't want to do that. They have a phenomenal system for getting all of that in place. I wish I was that organized. Yes, there's always room for improvement. We know that. We're aware of that. There's always room for improvement. But understand that there are requirements that they have to do too. So when you see them sitting there, you don't know whether, number one, they're being briefed, they're working on being briefed, they're on their 8-hour stint that they have to be sleeping, because you have to have them sleep. You're dealing with 50,000 watts of power per, per line. I don't want them fried. I got to pay for that because it comes down to us. We wind up having to pay for that. So it's a very trying time, but just I can't impress anymore that when we have a hurricane, you're out 3 to 5 days automatically. We know that.
And I understand exactly what you're saying, because when LP&L had their trucks right here on St. George Avenue, every morning they went to KB for breakfast. I moved out here in 1973, and it looked like a convention every morning, and everybody that was around here at that time, I'm sure, remembers that. And every time we had a lightning storm or a wind storm, our breaker popped right on that corner on Gordon. And I'd walk down to KB, and I'd try to find out whose area it was, and I'd get them to come get a hot stick, and they'd reset it. And I've been doing that since 1973, so I really, really understand what you're saying.
Right.
The only other thing I wanted to mention was one little bitty thing. A lot of people that, since I turned my main off and I was on, I had a generator running just to support a small air conditioner and keep a portion of the house cooled and lighted. A lot of people never did turn their mains off, and when the power was restored, they had an energy surge that blew out TV sets and microwave ovens. And there's a lot of people that might want to think about putting some sort of a device on their fuse panel to keep that from happening and blowing out all their sensitive equipment in their house. Exactly. Yes, surge protection. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, Madam Clerk.
The Secretary's report for, let's see, August. Revenues, $183,124.46.
Yeah.
On the cases you got? We had,
Let's do the reports. Councilman Hewitt.
I'm going to be short and sweet. I just wanted to thank all the citizens of Harahan on what a great job you guys did to help us with the storm. We were all out the few days before cleaning our lawns, and then after, the first day we could go outside and the weather was clear, folks were cleaning their drains and picking up the limbs, and it was just such a team effort to see our city pull together. And the mayor had put a sign up on City Hall after the storm of what a great job we all did, and I was just so proud to be part of Harahan, to see everyone pull together and get it done. And we were, a city that got up and running very quickly compared to all the things we've heard about Jefferson Parish and other municipalities. So just proud to be part of Harahan, and thank you so much for your help.
Councilman Murray.
Just a couple of things. Mayor, I've had some calls about there are bushes at OK, at the end of OK and River Road. I went there tonight. I've gone there before. I personally, I have my truck there. It had to be out into the street heading west towards Colonial before it could see around all of those trees. I took some pictures last night. Unfortunately, it's the bushes that are hanging over into that that last person's yard, and those bushes are hanging over into which would be the, I don't know if that's the right-of-way or a or whatever right there, or where a sidewalk should be, but it's not because we don't have sidewalks there. Anyway, I think those need to be cut. I've got pictures of it. I was going to send them on to Mr. Ferreira for him to handle. I just want to let you know. We do need to do something about that. In fact, fire truck went there too, and it couldn't see past there also. So we need to see about that. That is definitely a hazard. I'm surprised we haven't had a serious accident. Also, I have been talking with our director of code enforcement / regulatory director, and him and I have discussed this a little bit. We're talking about an international code of maintenance property, where we'll have a little bit more teeth in some of our code enforcement for blighted housing and for regulatory of standards for how our property should be maintained. Because the International Property and Maintenance Code, I've been talking with Director Jeff Charlet about it, that we need to put more teeth into some of our property. And my point is that nobody wants to stay next to a piece of property that doesn't get cleaned up, that doesn't have its grass cut, it's got junk all over the place. And let's face it, we're very proud of our property. We put a lot of money into it, and we want to make sure that it's maintained, and we want to make sure that the person next to us is doing the same. So we're working on some of that. If people have some recycling problems, number 3, people have any recycling problems, call me. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what your problem or your complaint, or if you like it, just let us know. We do let people know by all kinds of resources. We have the internet, we have it out there on the sign, we have stuff here in City Hall, and we also put it on the paper. So there are lots of resources. Plus we have things, our meetings are also on Channel 6 on Monday night, Cox on Wednesday night, and no, Monday night and Tuesday night? Tuesday night.
7 p.m.
At 7? I think it's 7, yeah. So we always need to reiterate and say that every night. And congratulations to the baseball team. They're excellent. A season of all wins is phenomenal. And good evening and have a good night. I'm finished. Thank you.
Councilman Baudier?
Just a real couple quick things. Through the storm, I got to learn something really cool. We got to go out to the lift stations and put all of the generators on the lift stations. And when you open up a lift station, of course it's sewage, but inside the cover of the lift station, it's filled up with cockroaches. It's the neatest thing you ever seen, and I never realized that cockroaches had a purpose because I have this all-out hatred for cockroaches. Well, anyhow, what happens is the cockroaches actually do a good job on these lift stations, and what they do is they allow us to know that the gas is not bad enough to where it's in a dangerous format. And so it was great, and I got to go out and roll with Edwin Marcel, and I got to learn something cool. And yeah, cockroaches have actually a good purpose in life.
You can keep them separate.
Methane gas.
That's right, methane. You know, as councilmen, when we get elected to do this job, we love what we do because it's kind of fun, you know, and I'm very, very anti-tax, and I'm really, really pro-business. I've been owning my own business my whole life. And I do hear what you guys saying on Gordon, and I guarantee you, I will personally come out and talk to you with any plan they got. I only live right across the street from you. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be a Pacino's because I've been talking with Pacino's, and Pacino's is going to probably open at the old wine cellars. So I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Pacino's. I know him, and but you know, I still think that maybe let's look to see if it's not a restaurant or a food supply, maybe a little dress store or you know, something like that might fit that little area better, or maybe a little t-shirt shop or something, whatever. But I promise you this, I promise you that we'll look at it and make sure everybody's happy. Well, you know, we could do a uniform shop, we could do something for the schools, it doesn't always have to be restaurant oriented. But we'll look at it and we'll take a look, and I promise, I know, like myself, all the other councilmen, I mean, you can call us anytime. I'll pick up the phone anytime. I don't care what time you call me. And again, I live right across the street from you guys. But, you know, we always got to keep our eyes open. We always got to understand sometimes we're going to make a decision that you guys are not going to like. But we always try to do the best, and we always try to, you know, we try to make the right decisions. And at some point in our city, you know, we have complaints because, oh, you can't raise taxes. Well, we got to do one or the other. We got to raise taxes, or we got to grow commercial, we got to grow residential. And there's not much residential left in the city, and we do have some commercial we should have explored. I know I worked very, very hard to put the Pacino's in the old Burger King, and that's how I know all of the people from that, and just could never seem to put that deal together for whatever reasons they were, and believe me, it was a lot of sometimes ridiculous reasons. Also, we do have an energy rep here, and he was very, very awesome to deal with. He got me all of the phone contacts that I needed. We worked the system. I know it seemed really terrible how it was, but I mean, these people were hustling and moving, and so at some point we got to give them some kind of credit because it was a nightmare. Nobody anticipated this storm to sit on top of us, and you know, we took a good beating. And but we worked really hard as a city to clean up everything, and we've been hustling to do it all. And I just hope that we did a good job, and I know the residents did an excellent job. I mean, my city was spotless within hours. I mean, my street was spotless within hours. So and we just work to do it. But if any of y'all ever have anything, or y'all ever want to talk or complain or tell me about something that I need to do or should be doing, I mean, I'll always give you my cell phone number, which is 343-7762, and I'll pick up the phone anytime. So thank you, guys.
Councilman Shanley.
I'd like to thank the citizens for cleaning up after the storm. Only thing is, before the storm, everyone runs and cleans up their yard, and they stacked everything on the street. The day before the storm hit, I rode personally every street in Harahan, and we were calling maintenance, and the mayor called in a subcontractor to come in and pick up this stuff. I just don't understand, why would you put your sofa out on the street the night before the storm's coming? I mean, I understand you want to clean up, everybody's cleaning their yard, and the sofa might have been in the yard, tied to the tree or something. I mean, we had maintenance crews running around the day before the storm. It was crazy. I mean, I couldn't understand it. And everybody did clean up their yard, but I mean, if you put it on the street, you know, it's just, they didn't want it in their yard, but when you put it on the street, it's going to blow in your yard, your neighbor's yard. You know, we need to try to tie stuff up. I have stuff all over my yard. I tied it to the trees, the fence, you know, the kids' bikes, stuffed them in the garage. My guys come over, they put my trash out on the street. I went and picked up my trash and put it in my garage, which I didn't want to put my trash in my garage, but I didn't want it to blow in the neighbor's yard, stop up the drains. We had a lot of rain. I mean, like they said, that storm sat over us for 36 hours. I don't think anyone was prepared for that. I mean, you could hold your hand up like this for an hour. Try to hold it up for 36 hours. It's going to come down. You know, and the rain on the trees, the grounds were saturated. The wind was blowing for 36 hours. I'm going to compliment Energy. I think the linemen did an excellent job. They might have had a little bit of mess up in their office personnel. I feel sorry for the guys I know that work for Energy. They were being harassed. That's not the way we want to live. I mean, this is Harahan. We're the city of friendship. And if anybody called me during a storm, I did everything I could to help them. I didn't care who you were. And I rode over 500 miles in the city of Harahan in 5 days. And I think the citizens did a good job cleaning up after the storm. I believe the mayor did a good job, the police chief, fire department, all the city council members. I just want to compliment everybody. I enjoy being on the city council. If someone has a problem or comment or anything to say, I'd love for them to contact me. And I would love to talk to everyone personally. I mean, I don't feel I hide behind the bush. I don't talk behind anybody's back. I don't make deals under the table. If someone has something to talk to me about, I'd love for them to come forward and talk to me. Someone said last week, you don't make a report at the end of the meeting. If I don't have anything important to say, I'm not going to waste your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Landry.
Let's make a couple announcements real quick before I forget. The Knights of Columbus annual car show is going to be September 29th, right at St. Rita by you guys. Great event. I believe there might be 1 or 2 spots left to put a call, but please come out and enjoy it. If you want to put a call, the telephone for Tommy Flick is 504-628-1992. Excuse me, I got a little cold.
Say that again.
504-628-1992. And, well, Jimmy was here earlier. The Harahan Athletic Association is going to have a jambalaya cook-off. If you want to enter a team, it's going to be Saturday, October 27th. Contact Jimmy Dudenhofer. That's right. 504-650-0007. That's pretty good. Or James Bond. Yeah, you know, what Councilman Shelling was saying about the people put their cars out there because they know there's going to be a sweep made. And they know they're going to get it picked up for free. That's the sad part about that. But I really enjoyed working with the council during the hurricane. You don't get to really know people until you work with them day to day and see how they react in crisis situations, or stressful situations. And these are good people. I mean, we're fortunate to have them volunteer for our city. Basically volunteer. We don't get paid much, but they're good people. They're all families. They care. I really enjoyed working with them. I really, really, truly did. I mean, I think everybody did a great job. 2 people I thought were outstanding, and it was Mr. Carlo Ferrara that stayed with Eric pretty much the whole time. And I'm not going to say your age, but he's not a spring chicken. And, I mean, he worked his butt off, and Eric, he just has the knowledge of electricity, and was just amazing to have, because it's just, we're fortunate to have him with that type of knowledge that can get things fixed quick for us without, and that's stuff that he could make money on. I mean, as an electrician, and he can't. So
He did do a lot. Nobody did. We didn't want to help because we didn't want to. We just didn't know how to hook up generators. I don't know how to hook up a generator. And Eric did. He was great to volunteer for that. I think everybody did a good job. But anyway, that's it. Come to the car show. Come to the jambalaya cook-off.
Wrestling.
Oh, it's not on TV.
Chief, you have
know about the
a
wrestling.
report?
I just have a few things. We have the statistics for August. Number of calls for service were 710. Number of accidents reported were 20. 123 citations. I'm sorry. I thought I was. We had number of citations issued were 123. Number of charges were 155. We had no funeral escorts, 3 patrol requests. We had 50 arrests. Of those arrests, there was 91 charges, 5 traffic, 10 felony, 75 were misdemeanors, 1 city. There were no murders, no rapes, 1 simple robbery. We had no attempted robberies, 1 residential burglary, 1 non-residential burglary, 1 attempted burglary, 1 motor vehicle theft. We had 7 larceny thefts and 12 assaults. Mr. Arlene asked me to make 2 announcements, if I may, Mayor.
Sure.
We have the National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. That's going to be scheduled on Saturday, September 29th, just a few Saturdays from now, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. There'll be 2 drop-offs this year, one at the Rite Aid parking lot, and the other will be here at the Harahan Police Department. Basically, you can drop off any unwanted, unused drugs that you want to get, prescription drugs you want to get rid of, and we can take those and dispose of those properly. The other announcement is going to be the National Night Out Against Crime event that's sponsored nationally. That's going to be on, the National Night Out is going to be in Kenner, I believe on the October 14th. That's a Sunday out at the lakefront in Kenner. And then we'll have the Harahan Night Out on Crime. Will be October 16th. That'll be similar to what we had last year, where they had a band. They'll have some food. If anyone wants to help or help volunteer to help put it on, or volunteer donations or anything like that, you could call Ms. Darlene, and she'll be more than happy to talk to you.
October 16th.
For Harahan, it's going to be October 16th. That's going to be at the 16th. Yes, ma'am.
And it'll be where at?
And it'll be at the Recreational Department. Yes, ma'am, from 6 to 8 p.m.
October 16th. That's
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to be before our meeting? I don't remember.
Council meeting?
No,
Tuesday?
18th is the meeting.
18th.
18th 's the meeting,
18th, I
okay.
believe, is the meeting.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that to us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, citizens of Harahan, for helping each other throughout the duration of the storm. What we did is, 2 days before the storm hit, we decided to sign contracts with 3 local companies, and we divided the city into 3 parts. And we sent each company in a certain part of the city to clean the city. We thought it would be better than hiring one company and then waiting for them to go through the whole city. And I think it worked out well. We made several sweeps for debris. The next sweep will be this coming Monday. And I think that's going to be in the paper, if it hasn't been in the paper already, that we'll pick up storm debris as well as white goods, appliances on Monday. I want to thank the whole City Hall staff, especially Rita Sanders and Nicole Lee and Melinda and Casey and Jeff Charlet and Charlene and all the council members and the fire department, the police department.
Stu on the playground.
All the playground people, Stu, John, Dina. They all contributed to the senior center to trying to make life as ordinary as possible when this storm hit. We were able to secure the National Guard for a period of time, who gave out meals and water and ice, and a sense of security. We also were able to comfort as many people as we could, those that were in need of special needs. We do have a list at City Hall. Anyone that wants to be on it, call us and we'll put you on it. We're thinking about a couple of ideas in the future, which would be using the senior center perhaps, which has a generator for people with special needs for a temporary period of time. We're also trying to get energy to locate for us during storms a special group of people composed of Harahan residents who work for energy, who maybe could come into Harahan because they know the area far better than any of the other groups of people that come here from Tennessee or Kentucky or North Dakota or wherever, and it can get us up quicker. Harahan can get the streets clean quickly. We have the manpower to do that because we bring in, like I say, these contractors. Also the fire department, the police department helps. Our major streets are clear very, very quickly, and we can clear most of the streets quickly. And this allows those trucks to come in and put up their the work they have to put up to put the energy on, the electricity on. So I'm hoping that the energy will come up with a or agree to a plan for Harahan that might get us up and running and then disperse those people later to other areas. There's so many people, citizens of Harahan, who came with food and water, brought them to people in need, citizens helping citizens. We're so blessed to have a residential community of people who are unselfish and who are sensitive to meet the needs of their fellow neighbor. We live in a community of people that chip in and you go down a block and you'll see people clean up one house and go to another house and go to another house. And it's just so, if you look at the larger community around us, New Orleans, we're just so blessed to be able to live in the city. Your elected officials, a lot of times you don't know the hours they put in when emergencies like this occur, whether it's just coming to City Hall and answering the phone or being at City Hall and talking to people when they come in or riding the streets or whatever skills these people here have individually, they put forth to the community as a whole and try to do the best that they could. I want to thank them for that. Certainly want to thank Carlo Ferreira, who possesses a lot of wisdom in connection with decisions that might have to be made by a lot younger people who don't have the experience to understand or to know what to do. What I mean by that is he has a wealth of information about the sewer plant, about areas of the city where we need a quick decision and we can't wait to go into the safe or the archives and look up or look through paperwork or books to figure out what are we doing. I'm sorry?
We go to his brain. We love him.
Yeah.
He is a brain.
So basically, we do go to him and rely upon him for a lot of assistance. And thank you so much for being there for me, especially. I felt a sense of comfort with you there, as I did with all of the people up here. One thing that occurs is from the councilman, everybody has their own opinion. So they definitely want to give you their opinion. And it works because you sit back and you think about it. And you might not think about it when they give it to you, but you think about it a day later, a day or two later, and you make decisions based upon their input. So I want to thank especially all of you again for assisting us in this throughout the storm. Please feel free to call City Hall for any information that you may want, whether it's information regarding the zoning board or information regarding what's on the agenda or whatever. I'll give you one short story. I'm sitting at my desk at City Hall. A lady comes in very, very, very irate. She says, I want to issue a ticket to a policeman. I said, I'm sorry, ma'am. Yes, I saw a policeman disobey a traffic sign, and I want to issue him a ticket. I said, well, ma'am, I don't know. She was very irate, and so what I did is I got the ticket book from over here at City Hall, at the police department, and I filled it all out. And I said, don't worry, man, we'll give the officer the ticket. Do you know who he is? No, but I'm sure I can identify him if I see him again. I said, well, man, once you see him again, come back to City Hall, and we'll issue this ticket. She said, thank you very much. So, a day in the life of City Hall. If you need to contact me personally, my cell phone is 883-1969. Feel free to do that. We got to go into executive session. Is David out there?
Yeah,
He's in your office.
Okay, let's go to executive session about a lawsuit. All in favor? Any opposed? 5 years, done. Murray, second by you. All in favor?
Yay. We have made the bills.
You paying the bills?
Oh, yeah.
Motion, we did that.
Bills paid in July. Sorry.
just did that,
sorry.
yeah?
We
In
just
August.
did that, Meg.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I read it?
Yes, you did. You read that in August, before we left.
Yeah, you did, babe.
All we got to do is adjourn. Motion by Landry, second by Murray. To
Just pay
adjourn.
the
All in
bills.
favor?
All fair.
Pay some
Aye.
bills, man. Pay some bills.
Thank you, good night.
I read the secretary's
guys, I'm
report.
You did, babe.
You read it?
It was not the bills, but sure.
I did a motion.
We paid the bills.
All right.
I did a motion. Pay bill.
Deal.
Pay the bills and put that lady's face up.